Alright everyone, welcome to my Thanksgiving special video. In today's video I'm going to be going over, because tomorrow, well I guess technically today because it is 1 o'clock, today is Thanksgiving, and I'm going to be going over some fights this year that I am very thankful for. I am very thankful that happened, and I'm very thankful for the results. Because, hey, it's the season of giving thanks, and I'm giving thanks to some of these fighters that fought how they did, or got the wins that I wanted them to have. So we're gonna start off with Merab Dvalishvili beating Umar Nurmagomedov, giving Umar his first ever loss. And honestly, it is a good day, a very good day anytime a Dagestani loses. So we were happy about this. We were praising it. Merab, it was a good fight. It was a good fight, but Merab Dvalishvili did win, and it was just beautiful. It was just beautiful. So Merab is actually fighting in 2 weeks, or I guess in about a week, at UFC 323, I think. So, but this one was amazing. Look at this. Putting Umar in a position like that, and getting reactions like this. Obviously, that's not. I believe that's probably Khabib's live reaction to this, but not Islam's. That's from years ago. That picture of Islam, but still, that was a great moment. Thank you, Merab. Moving on to Terrence McKinney versus Damir Hadzovic. This one meant a lot to me because I'm a big Terrence McKinney fan. He's one of my favorite fighters, top 5, and he was coming off of, I believe, 2 knockout losses going into this one. And he came back with a big statement win, beating Damir Hadzovic within 2 minutes of the first round right here. Beautiful, beautiful performance by Terrence McKinney. A Terrence McKinney win is always a good day, and he is coming up later on in this video. But this, I wasn't too nervous, but being on a losing streak and then coming out and having a performance like he did. I know that Damir isn't, him as a fighter, but I knew he was going to get this easy. It's Damir Hadzovic. But Terrence McKinney, thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is going to be a quick video. I'm just giving thanks. Moving on to Sharabudin Magomedov versus Michael Venom Page. This made me happy because I don't like Sharabudin Magomedov. I think he is a piece of shit, and obviously I have the orange lighting on in my room, kind of Thanksgiving-ish. But yeah, Michael Venom Page went in there, beat Sharabudin Magomedov, took his O. It was beautiful. I don't like Shara at all. I think he's a terrible person, and this was nice to see Michael Venom Page go in there and school him and give him his first L. So thank you, Michael Venom Page. Oh yeah, here's this. Yep. I believe this was in Abu Dhabi, right? The co-main of like maybe Whitaker versus Aliskerov or something like that, I want to say. But nice, very beautiful. Moving on to Anthony Fluffy Hernandez versus Brendan Allen. All my homies know it is a very, very good day when Brendan Allen loses. I do not like Brendan Allen, and some of these are hate watches, to be fair. I do like Fluffy, but I really dislike Brendan Allen, so watching him lose is always great. He was taken down, out-grappled, outstriked in moments too as well, but Anthony Hernandez just put pressure on him, and Brendan Allen is just low IQ, man. Very, very low IQ. Hold on. So yeah, that was beautiful. Obviously, as you can see here, backwards crucifix there by Fluffy, reverse crucifix, and then he gets the win, man. He gets the win. Fluffy Hernandez. I think he's going to be fighting Sean Strickland next, I believe. But I'm not too sure. But Brendan Allen losing is always good in my books. Thank you, Fluffy Hernandez. Song Yudong versus Henry Cejudo. I'm a big Song Yudong fan. Song Yudong was my favorite bantamweight until Charles Jourdain entered the division. So now Song Yudong has to take the number 2 seat. That's okay because Song Yudong is my favorite ranked bantamweight, and I think right before this he was coming off of a loss to Piotr Jan, and so I needed him to have this against Henry Cejudo, and he did indeed. Came out with a bang. I had him up three rounds against Henry. Now to be fair, he did eye poke Henry Cejudo multiple times, I believe, so that is bad. I really hate eye pokes. I think one eye poke should probably be a point deduction. So this fight probably should have played out a little bit differently on the scorecards, but Song Yudong is clearly the better fighter, and he was on his way to winning very handily. And Henry Cejudo actually fights in about a week and a half as well against Peyton Talbot. Don't know about Henry Cejudo. I hear he does, or don't know about Song Yudong. I do hear he has a fight scheduled. I think Song Yudong is going to be fighting Umar Nurmagomedov. That should be a great, great fight where either guy could probably win. So, yeah, but Song Yudong, and this has nothing to do with Henry. I like Henry, but Song Yudong, I needed a win from him, and he came out and absolutely delivered. So, appreciate that, Song Yudong. And then you have this is Cejudo. I'm still, and I still don't know how to feel about this. If I felt like he was faking or not. I mean, the eye pokes looked brutal, but he looked fine. Eyes open. He was looking around with them and doing this like he's taunting the crowd. So I'm not sure what to make of it. But eye pokes are eye pokes regardless. Can't have them. Unfortunate way to end the fight, but Song Yudong was cruising to a victory in my opinion. Thank you, Song Yudong. Moving on to Gene Silva versus Bryce Mitchell. I'm a really big Gene Silva fan, and I don't particularly like Bryce Mitchell. I don't hate him, but I think he's a bit of an odd character. Bryce Mitchell's very fun to have around, very bright character, always does his part to sell fights, which I enjoy, but I just think Bryce Mitchell's a bit weird, especially with the whole Hitler stuff, but obviously Gene Silva dealt with him, choked him out, put Bryce Mitchell out cold. This was a very fun fight. Gene Silva, I think Gene dropped him in round 1, right? And then round 2 got the submission. This was very dominant. This was a very dominant win for Gene Silva. The best win of his career so far up to this point. And yeah, thank you, Gene Silva. Moving on to Paddy Pimblett versus Michael Chandler. I am a very big Paddy Pimblett fan, dude. I really enjoy myself some Paddy Pimblett. I think Paddy Pimblett is one of the most underrated fighters right now currently. I think that he's one of the best lightweights on earth. And he's just fun. His fights are always fun. Dude's a killer, but he looks like a little girl. I think that's his appeal, though. That's his niche. Having that bowl cut and sometimes looking like a 12-year-old girl with the way his hair is and all that. So Paddy Pimblett. I think that Paddy Pimblett actually, Ilya Topuria had recently said that he is not going to fight until like June, July or something like that, and he's already been out for 5 months, so I'm not sure what they're going to do with Paddy and Arman. Maybe Paddy and Arman are going to go up in an interim. I've been hearing rumors that Ilya might vacate the title, so we could even get Paddy versus Arman for a vacated title. I don't know yet, but Paddy Pimblett went out here, destroyed Michael Chandler. There was a flying knee. He got his takedowns. Well, 1 for 2, but once he got takedowns, he was on top for a lot, doing damage. Ended up finishing him on the ground with ground and pound strikes right here, as you can see. Bloodied up the face of Michael Chandler badly. He busted Michael Chandler up, beat him up badly. Got a ground and pound TKO finish, which people don't do to Chandler. That's one thing I do want to mention. People really don't do that to Michael Chandler. Just take him down and control him and beat him up on the ground and finish him with the ground and pound TKO. People don't do that to Michael Chandler. Paddy Pimblett is big, strong, powerful. His striking isn't the greatest, but the way he fights, it works for him. And his grappling is one of the best, man. Especially his jiu-jitsu. His jiu-jitsu is incredible. So I do think Paddy Pimblett's going to go far, very far in this division. I do see him being champion at some point. 100% I do. So at some point. Not right now or anytime in the near future, but thank you, Paddy Pimblett, for continuing to win and make people mad. Because a lot of people hate Paddy Pimblett, and I don't get it, man. Moving on to Bilal Muhammad versus Jack Della Maddalena. This is one of my favorite moments of the whole year, because I picked Jack Della Maddalena to win. I thought he was going to get a knockout in round 2 is what I had predicted, but he did not end up getting that. But he did dominate Bilal. I actually scored it 5-0 Jack Della Maddalena. Round 4 was Bilal's best round, and some people did give it to Bilal, but even in that round and in all 5 rounds, Jack Della, every round, consistently was just being the one landing the harder, better shots. I mean, Bilal never in a single round did more damage to Jack than Jack did to him, and Jack outstruck him. And I hate the narrative that Bilal tried to go in here shooting, or he tried to go in here and strike with JDM. He shot 9 fucking takedowns. That's more than his average takedowns, I believe, or right at his average of like 8 or 9 a fight. And people say, oh yeah, well, he only started shooting late when he was already hurt. He shot in the first round, and he shot in the second round, failed them both. He didn't actually start getting the takedowns until later on in the fight, so you're just wrong. Bilal Muhammad tried grappling from the start. He just failed and was forced on the feet with Jack. Therefore, some retards think Bilal just wanted to strike with Jack Della Maddalena. That's not what happened at all. But Jack Della Maddalena, at this time, saved the welterweight division, gave us an exciting champion that actually has potential to finish fights. Unfortunately, that came to an end. But Islam is better than Bilal, so it is what it is. I'm okay with it. But thank you, Jack Della Maddalena. Giacomo. Moving on. Oh, yeah. Wait, here's the picture. Jack landed some shots. Nasty knee up the middle there as well. Absolutely beautiful from Jack Della Maddalena. Moving on. Jekka Sadeghi versus Yu Ju Sang. His name was definitely written different. Ju Sang Yu is what I remember. Ju Sang Yu, man. The reason that I'm putting this on here is because if you go back, oh no, and it's gone. Great. What event was that on? UFC 320, right? Was it not on UFC? Oh yeah, no, that's Daniel Santos. That's a Daniel Santos fight. Anyways, we'll just move on to the picture. If you go back to the predictions video I made, oh my camera. If you go back to the predictions video that I made for this card, I called this fight better than anybody else. It was perfect. I said that Jekka Sadeghi sucks and that Ju Sang Yu is way too clean of a striker, especially a counter striker. And I said that immediately into the fight, Jekka Sadeghi would try to pressure Ju Sang Yu up against the cage. He would go for a shot and get, I think I even used the term Conor McGregor against Jose Aldo. He would pull counter Jekka Sadeghi out cold in less than a minute is what I predicted. And it's exactly what happened. Perfect to the T. It was beautiful. You could not have called this fight any better. And the fact that it was even more beautiful of a knockout than I thought it would be, him landing straight first onto the canvas, just made my night, man. It was so beautiful. So this is one of my favorite knockouts of the year. So thank you, Ju Sang Yu. And yeah, I wish I could do videos, man, but obviously UFC is gonna copyright strike my video and get it taken down. So it sucks that we can't do videos. We have to stick with pictures, but it's okay. It was hard to find pictures for some of these because all videos will come up, but I did find one for all. So moving on to Juliana Pena versus Kayla Harrison. Thank you, Kayla Harrison, for getting rid of Juliana Pena. I cannot stand Juliana Pena. She's so annoying. She sucks. One of the worst women's fighters in UFC history. It is insane to me that she became champion. But she just can't fight. She doesn't know how to throw strikes. Her grappling is okay at best. But obviously right here, second round, less than 10 seconds left. Kayla Harrison gets a Kimura, submits Juliana Pena. I believe I called a submission as well from Kayla Harrison. So I think he even called it around 2 as well. So obviously that was beautiful. I think that Kayla Harrison is not only a better fighter and a better champion than Pena, but she's more entertaining as well. She actually has like true finishing potential. She's big, she's strong, she's borderline, if you know what I mean. So yeah, thank you, Harrison. And now we get Harrison versus Nunes, which is actually a pretty intriguing fight. I haven't made my pick for that fight yet because I don't know who's gonna win, but I think I'm gonna lean Amanda Nunes if I'm being honest with you. But Harrison is much better for the sport as a champion than Juliana Pena is, so thank you, Kayla Harrison. Moving on to Terrence McKinney versus Vyacheslav Borshev. Terrence McKinney, 55-second submission, less than a minute. Thank you, Terrence McKinney. This was beautiful. I said that Terrence McKinney would submit Vyacheslav Borshev in the first round, but I thought it would take a minute. I thought Terrence McKinney would have to go out there, get the takedown, maybe work towards a submission, maybe 2-3 minutes in. No, he darted straight for the legs of Vyacheslav Borshev and submitted him in 55 seconds. And it was so beautiful, so nasty. The way he got the takedown and immediately just hopped on that choke, mounting guillotine under the neck, was just... I mean, a submission can't get better. And Vyacheslav Borshev fought forever. Because the choke was in maybe 15-20 seconds in. Vyacheslav Borshev genuinely fought for like 30 seconds. 35 seconds in this choke. He did not want to lose that quickly. But when Terrence McKinney is on your neck, there's not much you can do. Terrence McKinney is a high-level grappler, and I'm very excited for him to show this in this division as he continues to win and continue his winning streak. Thank you, Terrence McKinney. Moving on. Brandon Royval versus Joshua Van. One of the best fights of the year. Easily top 3 fights of the entire year. I picked Brandon Royval to win as an underdog. I was like, Royval's the underdog here? Joshua Van on short notice? And hasn't had the career Brandon Royval has. I'm taking Brandon Royval, but Joshua Van goes out there. They didn't beat up on Royval. I had it 1-1 going into the third. And it was an absolute war, an absolute scrap these two had. Now, this is only what I can show you. This is the only picture I could find. And if I go to the next slide, it's a video. Oh, I hope that little bit doesn't get me copyrighted. I don't really know how strong the UFC's copyright is, but I'm going to not show any more video. But this was an amazing fight. Joshua Van, honestly, I get the argument that he could have been losing round 3 up until the knockdown with like 5 seconds left. Won him the fight if he was losing on the judges' scorecards. But this was beautiful. It was a war, a scrap where both guys were hurting each other, both guys were looking good. But less than 10 seconds left, Joshua Van drops. Oh, I thought he was going to get the knockout with that much time left, but he didn't. And now we got Joshua Van going up against, in a week and a half, going up against Alejandro Pantoja for the championship. So I'm hoping that Joshua Van can pull it off. I honestly wouldn't be too surprised either way. I think Joshua Van has a solid chance, but he's only been training, for like 6 years? That 6 years may show when you're on the ground with Alejandro Pantoja, let's just be real. But I'm very, very excited for this fight as well. And this fight was beautiful. This could honestly be fight of the year. So, thank you, Joshua Van and Brandon Royval. Moving on. Moving on to Johnny Walker versus Minyang Zhang. Funny part about this is that I actually have picked Johnny Walker in like every fight he's had in the UFC. So I've been disappointed a lot. I think this might have been the only time I've ever picked against him. I actually picked Zhang Minyang to win this fight, and I'm so happy I was wrong. I picked Johnny Walker in both Magomed Ankalaev fights. I picked him against Alonzo. I need to find Alonzo. Volkan Oezdemir. I picked him against like everybody, man. I always pick Johnny Walker, and he always loses and gets KO'd hilariously. And I was thinking, you know what? I'm going with Zhang Minyang this time. He has like 5-6 first round knockouts in a row. Johnny Walker is primed to get KO'd against anybody. I'm taking Zhang Minyang, you know. Johnny Walker has a stellar performance. Wins the first round in my opinion. Wait, did he? He did try like a Hamzat takedown and get on bottom, so maybe not. But he comes out second round, destroys Zhang Minyang's legs and gets a leg kick TKO finish. Beautiful for Johnny Walker. I'm so happy to see him back in the win column. I wish I'd picked him, but I finally didn't, and he proved me wrong. I'm happy about it though. I love Johnny Walker. One of my favorite light heavyweights, top 3 for sure. So yeah, thank you, Johnny Walker. Moving on. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting to show the pictures. Here's the picture. His leg, dude, Zhang Minyang's legs were cooked. Johnny Walker blasting shots to the side of the head. A bit of a late stoppage. I mean, he was beating on Zhang Minyang for a little while before they decided to stop it. So, but it is what it is. I love Johnny Walker. Him and his brother, man, are really my favorites. I think I didn't add any of Walter Walker's fights into here, but honorable mention. Thank you to Walter Walker for, was it 4 heel hook submissions in a row now? He is fresh new blood at heavyweight, making the heavyweight division very entertaining. I'm excited to see him in his next fight. Sad we won't get to see him against Chocolate Peppa Pig because he got cut from the UFC. Rightfully so. He should have been cut 10 years ago. Don't know why he's here, but now he's not. So, oh no, he didn't call out Chocolate Peppa Pig. He called out his opponent. The Abu Dhabi guy. Can't think of his name at this moment, but I believe he was gonna beat either of them, so it doesn't matter. Thank you, Johnny Walker. Moving on to Magomed Ankalaev versus Alex Boatan Pereira. Massive thank you. Massive thank you. Massive thank you to Alex Pereira. This is my favorite win of the entire year. Alex Boatan Pereira goes out there, starches Magomed Ankalaev in just over a minute, reclaiming the belt, saving the light heavyweight division from sure death at the hands of Magomed Ankalaev, who isn't going to give us KOs like Alex Pereira will, isn't going to give us hype, isn't going to give us... Magomed's got no aura. You know? Alex Boatan Pereira has aura, and he goes out there and he gives us devastating knockout of the year KOs every single time he's out there. So when Magomed Ankalaev beat Alex the first time, I was heartbroken. Heartbroken for me, for the fans, for the sport. But Alex Pereira comes out very aggressive early on in the rematch, kicks out his leg to the point where he forces Magomed Ankalaev to switch stances, and now Ankalaev is in a stance he is not the most comfortable in, allowing him, because Alex Pereira had difficulties with the southpaw style of Magomed Ankalaev in the first fight. Kicked his leg out to force him to go to orthodox, which is a stance that Magomed Ankalaev is not comfortable in. And from there, Pereira was able to land a massive right overhand, almost dropping and then defending the takedown and then finishing Magomed Ankalaev. Beautiful Alex Pereira. Shama. Shama. Thank you, Alex Pereira. Moving on. Charles Oliveira versus Mateusz Gamrot. Man, this one made me happy as well, because I'm a massive Charles Oliveira fan, and Mateusz Gamrot's cool. He is a gamer. That's his nickname. He is a anytime, anywhere, any place, for any reason kind of fighter, and I love that. I like Mateusz Gamrot. Props to him for stepping up. But he got finished for the first time in his career. Charles Oliveira, dominant in the grappling here. Insane, because nobody's ever dominated the grappling against Mateusz Gamrot like this. Even Arman Tsarukyan couldn't do that. Oliveira was able to get takedowns. Oh, 1-for-1. That can't be right. He got takedown in both rounds. Am I missing something? Anyways, bullied Mateus Gamrot in the striking. Took him down. Took the back in both rounds. First round was just dominant. Second round, he wasn't playing around. He got the back, grabbed the neck, and got the submission on Mateus Gamrot. Charles Oliveira. Do Bronx is the homie, man. So happy for him. I love Charles Do Bronx Oliveira. Especially coming back so short after such a nasty knockout at the hands of Ilia Topuria. Charles Oliveira shows he's still here, still game, still at the top of his game, man. Love to see it for Charles Oliveira. I want to see Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway next for the BMF. Let's run it. Thank you, Charles Oliveira. Guys. Charles Jourdain is my favorite fighter in the UFC. The number one spot is Charles Jourdain. It's been that way for a few years. I found Charles Jourdain on the prelims of a card one time back years ago in the pandemic era, and I was like, yep, this prelim fighter is my favorite fighter. It's just something about Charles Jourdain. The very first time I ever seen him fight, I'm just thinking, dude, this is my fighter. This is my guy. And trust me, I've had some heartbreak. Had a few losses, especially to the one at the hands of Gene Silva. But But he has went down to bantamweight, his true weight class, where he is really going to shine and flourish. Davy Grant is an amazing fraud checker. I hate using that term, but I can't really think of anything on the spot that describes it better. You give him a young and up-and-coming prospect killer. There you go. You put Davy Grant against an up-and-coming prospect, and he just kills him. He beats him. He beat them on Blackshear. I mean, he's beaten all these guys. Martinez, what's that one guy's name? Tavares or something, Ramon Tavares. This dude just knows how to beat prospects. Charles Jourdain is just too good of a prospect is the issue. Charles Jourdain's got everything to his game. He's got everything. There's nothing he doesn't have. He's got the striking. He's got the power now that he's at 135. He's got the grappling, offensively and defensively. He took down Gene Silva more times than Bryce Mitchell could. And Bryce is a grappler. But the thing about Charles Jourdain is you just can't afford to be hurt against him. If he hurts you, you just can't afford that. Because Charles Jourdain drops him. And this is his third guillotine in a row? When he hurts you, he has the perfect guillotine. Nobody in the UFC has a better guillotine. The way that Charles Jourdain wraps up his guillotine, I couldn't find a better picture than this. All other were videos. But when Charles Jourdain hurts you, he just typically when you get hurt or dropped in MMA, you kind of scramble to a better position. You kind of get panicky and you panic shoot to a better position, maybe to go for a takedown or to just kind of, scramble back up to your feet. Charles Jourdain drops Davy Grant, lands some nasty ground and pound, and then Grant tries to scramble and get up and just gets caught in another guillotine. Because Charles Jourdain is just him when it comes to guillotines. You can't afford to be hurt in front of Charles Jourdain. And Charles Jourdain at 135 now has the power to truly set everything up in his game. So I think that Charles Jourdain at 135 is going to be a ranked contender, top 10 at some point, I believe. Hopefully top 5, but that is a huge ask in the bantamweight division. But Charles Jourdain is young. He's not even 30 years old. I think he's 28, 29, so he's got some time. He's already this good, so I can only imagine Charles Jourdain in about 5 years. Thank you, Charles Jourdain. You're my favorite fighter. Moving on. Quilin Salkild versus Nasrat Haqparast. Do I really need to explain? Thank you, Quilin Salkild, for your knockout of the year. Oh my God, what a head kick this was. It was nasty. Best knockout of the year, still in my opinion. couldn't find a picture of the head kick, only videos. But Quillen Sal killed, man. The Aussies got something in the water over there, man. Australia just breeds good fighters, and it's just simple as that. Volkanovski, Jack Della Maddalena, Quillen Sal killed, you know? Australia just has good fighters, and a lot of them are degenerate gamblers as well, which is funny, but because I am as well. But Quillen Sal killed, man. I want to see him on that Perth card early next year. But yeah, best knockout, dude. He owns a bakery. They own a bakery. Nah, but Quillen Sal killed is good, man. I actually picked Quillen Sal killed to win this because I didn't rate the wins that that Quillen Sal killed had. Every person alive beats Anshul Jubilee. And Yanil Eshmuz isn't great. So, but yeah, Quillen Sal killed, goes out there, sleeps in bad. I think, dude, he was out for like 5-6 minutes. And that's at hack press. So, thank you, Quillen Sal killed, for this knockout. Moving on. Oh, yeah. I'm not necessarily thinking either of these guys more than the other here. I'm thinking the judges on this one, because they got this right. Alexander Volkov did win this fight. I scored it for Volkov. I know a lot of people scored for Gelatin, but I'm sorry. This is damage-based scoring. Damage first. Control next. It just is what it is. Volkov was landing the shots. He even had some top control of his own, you know? So it just is what it is. And the judges here are the MVPs in this fight. Because Volkov won. Rightfully so, in my opinion. So, congratulations to Alexander Volkov. You won that fight. Hopefully the judges start scoring damage over. There's so many times where we see control time getting scored over damage, and it's gonna ruin the sport, man. So the judges here made the right call, and yeah. So thank you, judges, for this. This was beautiful. Moving on to Chris Padilla versus Ismael Bonfim. Ismael Bonfim missed weight, so that already added to the fact that I don't really like Ismael Bonfim. I didn't really like him ever since he killed Terrence McKinney. But Chris Padilla follows me on Twitter, so I appreciate that. He's my mutual. Thank you, Chris Padilla. You're an amazing fighter. You are the lightweight that nobody is talking about. And I'm so happy to... I predicted a round 2 KO for Chris Padilla as well. So perfect prediction by me. Ismael Bonfim is just not good. And Chris Padilla is really good. He's undefeated in the UFC, I believe. He's coming off of some good wins. Ismael Bonfim, Jai Herbert. I even think he beat someone else in there as well. But Chris Padilla really showed out. Got a finish. Man, I love Chris Padilla, man. He's such a good fighter, such a good lightweight. Very underrated, man. People need to start talking about Chris Padilla, man. Because he's making his way up the unranked division, and he's going to be fighting ranked soon. And I will not be surprised at all to see Chris Padilla ranked next year. Early next year, maybe. But next year, for sure, he will be ranked. So thank you, Chris Padilla, for proving my prediction right and being my mutual on Twitter. I appreciate it. Moving on. Oh, yeah. Again, the picture. Beat him up. Beat him up, man. Destroyed his legs. You know, just beat him up, man. Just too good. Moving on to Carlos Prates versus Leon Edwards. Carlos Prates with an absolute nasty knockout. I called it. I said Carlos Prates would win by knockout in round 2. I called this per one perfectly again. Round 1 was a bit worrying because Leon was kind of out-muscling him, getting him where he wanted in his grappling positions, but I love that moment where Carlos Prates was making that face with Leon Edwards on his back. Round 2 comes around pretty earlier on in the second round. He just lands a flush. I believe it was a right hand down the pipe. Lands on the chin of Leon Edwards. Just put him out. It was nasty. Leon Edwards is probably never going to win again ever in the UFC unless they severely matchmake him to benefit him. Like if they give him a D-Rod or something, obviously he's going to win. But, you know, Leon is probably done in his career. Leon is mentally weak. He always has been. He gives up on himself, and a knockout loss like this, and to get knocked out for the first time in his career, I can only imagine what this is doing to his mental health. So, sorry, Leon Edwards, but now we have a very exciting fighter in the welterweight division back in the fray of the top of the division. So, thank you, Carlos Prates. Moving on to the next one. Same event, same weight class. Thank you, Michael Morales. I love this one because I predicted this right as well. I said round 1 knockout for Michael. No, I didn't. I said Michael Morales would win by knockout, but it would be later on in the fight. Michael Morales. I knew Michael Morales was going to win. I was pretty confident in this one. Everything that Sean Brady has ever struggled with is everything that Michael Morales does best. So I knew that there was no chance Sean Brady was winning this. Michael Morales had it in the bag before the fight even started. Just too big, too physical, too strong, and he's a grappling base. He started out as a grappler, and he's not the greatest striker technically, but he's very big and powerful, and he knows how to land shots. And even if you're not the best even if you're not the best technically on the feet, if you're effective with how you strike, it's all that matters. DDP showed us that, and Michael Morales got him out of there. Easy work for Michael Morales. Sean Brady just isn't that good, and I've been trying to say this. Sean Brady quits when things get hard. When he fights a guy that, like Bilal and Michael Morales, that truly give him problems and actually can defend a few takedowns, Sean Brady's whole game falls apart and he just kind of quits. Not that this was a quitting necessarily, because Michael Morales did put him out with some heavy shots, but in general, if you stuff a few takedowns from Sean Brady, he's easy to beat. So, thank you, Michael Morales, for proving me right and for getting a nasty finish. Yeah, look at him. Look at Sean Brady on the ground over there, out, and Michael Morales, man, celebrating. Moving on to Tagir Lambeka versus Koji Horiguchi. I picked Koji Horiguchi to win this. I said he'd win by decision, but he dominated. Like I said earlier on in the fight with the Umar Nurmagomedov, or earlier on in the video with the Umar and Rob fight. It's always a good day to see a Dagestani lose. It's always a good day. He dominated Tagir Lambeka. Tagir didn't have like a single moment. Round 1 was easy for Horiguchi. Round 2 was easy. Round 3 was easy. Dropped him twice. Ended up getting the submission. Submitted a Dagestani in his corner. Literally just feet away from Khabib Nurmagomedov and Islam Makhachev, just watching on in horror as Koji Horiguchi strangles the life out of Tagir. Now, I said a while ago, I think even like a year, 2 years ago, I said that Tagir Lambekov is if you guys ever watched Family Guy and you've seen that scene of Peter's hairless twin in the shed, that's Tagir in Dagestan. He's the hairless twin, the hairless Dagestani in the shed that nobody likes because he's not good at all, and he ruins the reputation of the Dagestanis. And every time he loses, it's just like, oh, you know. Of course, he's the one losing again. And Islam was even talking about throwing in the towel. That's how bad Tagir was getting beaten, man. He's just not good. He's big for the division, very big, but he's just got nothing to his game. He's a decent grappler, but he's slow on the feet. He's got no kind of power, no explosiveness, no speed, no nothing. He's literally like, he's just not good, you know? Like, congratulations, you beat Cody Durden, you know? Koji Horiguchi dominated him and finished him. Very easy, light work, man. So, thank you, Koji Horiguchi. It's going to be fun to have you back, man. Welcome back to the UFC after 10 years. This was, I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better re-debut fight for Koji Horiguchi and performance. So, thank you. Oh yeah, I can't show this one because it has the fight in it. But obviously, that was a beautiful head kick there. Man, I hope this fight doesn't get copyrighted. I showed like 2 seconds of 2 different fights, so we should be good. this one I don't really have to speak much on it. I very much dislike Bilal Muhammad. It's always a good day when Bilal Muhammad loses. Ian Gary, you know, probably should have gotten a point taken away, for being honest. Had an eye poke. I don't believe the second one landed. I think Bilal was kind of lying about that second one, but he did land the first one clear. Probably should be a draw here, because this was a 29-28, I think. Well, to be fair, regardless of how you scored it at home, even if they did take a point from Ian Gary still would have won, because the judges did score it 30-27, so it doesn't really matter how you scored it at home. It's what really matters is the judges, and they scored it 30-20. I believe it was unanimous, right? 30-27 for Ian Gary. So even if there was a point deduction, Ian Gary still would have won. So, yeah. But yeah, Ian Gary, good performance. Was it though? I mean, he did beat Bilal, and he did clearly beat Bilal, but I would have liked a bit more. I did think he was going to knock Bilal out. My bad. Never take a vegan to finish a fight ever. I know that now. I think Ian Gary should be next to fight Islam Makhachev for the title over Prates, over Morales, and no chance should Ilia Topuria ever be at 170 in his whole career. So, beautiful for Ian Gary. Good win. Ian Gary's going to be ranked number 1, right? Because Bilal was number 1 because he had just lost the belt. So, come on, Makhachev. Conor versus Khabib 2. Let's run it. Thank you, Ian Gary. That was the very last one in the video. Punch landed by Gary. Punch landed by Gary. I'm going to end the video here. It is 41 minutes long. I didn't anticipate it being this long at all. I thought this would be a very quick video. But I had a lot to talk about. Thank you to these fighters in this video that shaped my year so far up to this point. It's Thanksgiving, so I just wanted to give thanks to these fighters. I'm probably gonna be doing more, more holiday type videos. Like for Christmas, I'm probably gonna do what I want for Christmas in the year of 2026, kind of video. So we'll see. But I appreciate it. You guys watching this. It is very late, so I'm gonna hop in bed because I have a Thanksgiving tomorrow that I gotta participate in. So I gotta make sure I wake up at a reasonable time. Appreciate you guys for watching, and happy Thanksgiving. Hope if you're celebrating it, I know everybody doesn't, but if you are, happy Thanksgiving. Don't forget to give thanks to anything or anybody that you are grateful for, and thank you to all these fighters. I'm out.